Okay, my good people, let's get this going. Um, so, I have a card that I want to do. I'm going to do, but I just giving you guys two match cards, all Japan, all match cards, and I'm going to do a follow up in terms of a three-way dance with the winners. Okay, because the champion was beaten, who was Kota Ibushi. He was beaten. So he was beaten by Iyumura, and so what we're going to do is we're going to have a three-way for that title match because we had two different tournaments, and being that the champion was the one that got pinned in the last one. So in fairness, we'll do the whole we'll do a whole match with those three in a three-way, and then we'll have, of course, either the champion will retain or we'll have a new one. So, since I did that, it's only right that I give the ladies their just due. I'm not going to do it tournament style only because I want to do it, I want to mix it up. I want to give you a different variety of matches here with the women. So therefore, let's see, who shall our first match be? To start things off, we're going to do Queen Aminata. You know what? Let's keep the crown on her head. We're going to do Queen Aminata. Now, who can we put in the match with Queen Aminata? Okay, I'm going to go Christina Von Eerie. I always like watching Christina Von Eerie wrestle. And since her TNA days, I've pretty much seen her in the indie circuits. Okay, so that's the all-female arena right there, which I'm going to make a tutorial video on that. Someone did ask me. So I will. I just haven't gotten to it yet on how I made this particular arena right here. Big Star. It's one of my favorites. Okay, where do I want to do this tournament? Where? No, that's this card. It's not a tournament. Where do I want to do this card? I could do this beach. Version of Dynamite. You know what? We're going to go to the combat zone with this one. So this tournament will be here.
Count anywhere match set for one fall.
Man, this should be one hell of a singles match.
Yeah, this is one of my first arenas that I ever made.
Making her way to the ring, the Queen, Tiger. And her White Saber.
Christina Von Eerie. Which, by the way, Queen Aminata, in case you guys don't know, at the last Ring of Honor event, Death Before Dishonor, she just defeated Athena and finally became women's champion. She got her belt. I know Red Velvet won the title as well. I forgot the name of the chick that she beat, but yeah, Death Before Dishonor was a good, it was a good card too. Real good card. Wheeler Yuta, he lost his title to what's the guy's name? You know what? Just give me a second. But yeah, it was a solid card, man. But yeah. So the last building that you saw Collision in, I read an article that said that that's going to be the home of Collision for like the next month. And I don't know if I know they said they were going to do something different with Ring of Honor, and Ring of Honor was finding its own home, and I think that might be it. And then as Collision is, back on the road, people would have been used to seeing Ring of Honor in that building, and basically build more of a following to where these people will tune in to see them. So I think that really changes that's be made going forward. A lot of people get stuck in the past. The guy that was doing the article was giving his takes on things. One thing I can say too is when people do these articles and they give you their opinions be so way different from what is actually happening. And he's comparing SmackDown to Collision, saying that Tony Khan sees Collision the way WWE sees SmackDown, but he think this is a good change because Collision needs its own identity. And I'm saying, man, what are you talking about? First of all, SmackDown is the lead show for the WWE now, not Raw. So what do you mean by that? Like, what are you saying? Like, this is your views. I don't know where you get those views from, but Tony Khan's system is nothing like what the WWE is doing. In fact, I mean, once again, they don't have separate champions. And as far as the show being seen, him seeing Collision, how the powers that be see SmackDown, the comparison just made no sense. I mean, if you're trying to say Dynamite is the flagship show, that still makes no sense now. You'd be talking about way back when they used to always say that Raw is the flagship show of the WWE. They don't say that anymore. And SmackDown has surpassed them in ratings and everything. There's more interest in what SmackDown is doing than it is on Raw. So if Raw is the flagship show, then they failed. Okay? As upholding that is the flagship show because it's no longer. I mean, you can say it's the longest reigning, but they're not getting their ratings are far less than SmackDown's. Far less. So, yeah, I mean, him saying that was just like, wow. I'm like, okay, then what is Rampage? Right? Then what is Rampage? Like, Rampage is not AEW's version of NXT. Neither is Collision. Neither is Dynamite. It's like their shows are their shows. This is what I mean about comparisons, because people say things and then other people read these articles and they hear these things and go, yeah, this guy was saying blah, 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 as if it's true. It's like, man, those comparisons make zero sense. Look, here's the thing. You can't even compare. Like, look at Rampage. Back in the day, when WWE had Sunday Night Heat, Sunday Night Heat wasn't treated the way Rampage is. Sunday Night Heat was treated as like, let me just put some, our C-level, D-level guys, like, let's put those guys on this show. So that's what you saw. You never saw a John Cena, a Undertaker, whoever was a top guy at the time, Edge, none of those guys, Randy Orton, you didn't see them on Sunday Night Heat. You saw guys like Raven, against MVP or something like that. The most you might have gotten, is like maybe a good tag team, which they haven't had a good tag team in so long with that, but there was no top rated stars on that show. So you can't even compare that. Rampage, yes, and it's not that Heat was wrong for showcasing guys that normally won't get the light that they got on SmackDown or Raw. No, they're not wrong for that. But what I'm saying, look at Rampage, the very first one. You had Bryan Danielson, I forget the guy he fought, the Japanese guy. And I mean, so you've had these guys on these shows, is what I'm saying. You've had top talent there. You've had, and you get that. And it comes on Friday night. Okay, Sunday Night Heat, yeah, it was only an hour. Rampage is only an hour. But, you know, what I'm saying is the intent. That Tony Khan's format and everything is nothing like. You know what the equivalent to Sunday Night Heat was like? AEW Dark Elevation. That is like what the equivalent of Heat was. That's what those shows were. Not Rampage, not Collision, and not Dynamite for sure. Like, so, all three of those shows have a different feel, but you don't hear the commentators say, Dynamite, our flagship show. No, you don't hear that. So at the end of the day, even though Rampage was before Collision basically it gets 2 hours. Okay, and Collision is gets more attention than Rampage do. But at the same time, it's not like you got to remember, Rampage is only an hour, so you're only getting 3 matches on those shows. You know, and the guy was talking about how, on Collision, only give guys like Tony Nese like a 5-minute match. He doesn't need more than that. All these things that they're like, you know, my whole thing about all these guys is you guys are such experts on what wrestling is and what it needs and what it doesn't need. Why don't you guys get together, right? Get together. Why don't you, Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo and, you know, Dutch Mantel, why don't you, all you guys get together that are complete experts on wrestling and form a company and show everybody how it's done. Everybody has all of these, this is what they need and what they don't need. See, and what they have to do for sure, man, you don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work. If you've been watching wrestling long enough, you should know. You can do something this month that works, and you do that same thing next month, and it doesn't work. That's just the way things are. It depends on, you know, who's involved, the situation surrounding it. It is what it is. That's the way professional wrestling is. That's the way the world is. People just, they see things a certain way, but wrestling is in that category as one of those things where people see it, and they watch it, and it's like, it has a very robotic system. The way people think, they say what they think people want to hear them say. They don't really think for themselves. Like, if I don't like something, I'll say, I didn't really like it too much. It's not really, you know, I don't have to strip it down. I could just, but if I like it, I like it. So my point is, if 1,000 people told me they don't like something, but I do, I'm not changing my stance on that because those 1,000 people don't like it. My thing is, I'm not trying to make you like it. So my conversations won't be about that thing because I know you don't like it. So what's the purpose? Right? So that's why I say, why do people love to come and talk about things that they don't like? So, yeah. It was so funny when I read that article, because I said, man, these people love to say things, and they act like what they're saying is facts. And my thing is, when you're building up wrestlers, right, and you want to give a wrestler a push, you don't know what their plans are for these different wrestlers. You don't know. So they need airtime as well. If they just get 5 minutes, you know what that becomes? You look at a guy like Tony Nese like he's filler. He'll never be more than what he is. And let's just basically give him 5 minutes of fame and then, okay, kick him off TV. Right? He doesn't deserve more than that. Well, that's how you keep a wrestler down. And a wrestler will always be seen as nothing but a mid-card guy. And people will look and say, he hasn't even had a 10-minute match. He hasn't even, you know, so when he gets one, you're saying he shouldn't get it. Like, people don't understand this. Now, for AEW to keep things going with him, that's fine. You want to be consistent. We get that. But it's like this whole, everybody has all of the answers. It's like, man, we don't listen. You don't know everything. None of us do. We're not working behind the scenes. Yes, we can piggyback off of what we see, and that's with anything. But there's a difference between a person having a plan to do things a certain way versus people saying, well, if it was the WWE, they would have done such and such a thing. Remember when Tony Khan, someone took a shot at him, but it's always, anybody in the WWE can say whatever they want. But especially when it's Tony Khan involved, if he responds, he's wrong or he's bitter. And they made a comment towards Tony Khan, and now he booked someone on his show. I don't know if it was Willa Yuta or somebody, whoever it was. He responded with, Jinder Mahal hasn't won a match in how long has he been off TV, and all of a sudden he comes into a title shot. Was he wrong? No, he wasn't wrong. And if Tony Khan had done the same exact thing, those same people talking would have been saying the same thing Khan said. So it's just like, it doesn't matter what anybody else does. If we like that person, then we don't want to hear anybody say anything about them, which nobody cares about all of that. Okay, Queen Aminata and Vineri is just outside this ring trying to get that pin. I don't remember what her signature is or her finisher, but it must not work outside the ring. I don't know. I'm wondering why she's not doing it. But yeah, it's one of those things. And I'm reading this, and I said, man, you know something? To be honest with you, to be perfectly honest with you, whenever you watch a wrestling match and you walk away from that match going, man, that was a great match, right? That's what the wrestlers want to hear. That's what the promoters, the owners want. That's what they all want to hear. That you like the match. That's what they want to hear. Okay. The problem, right? The problem with most people, in all honesty with that, is they love to say things and not understand. Like Booker T, oh, nobody cares to see a 5-star match anymore. Because people not there for the wrestling. They're there for the entertainment. Okay, first of all, and that sounds really stupid coming from Booker T, especially working for a company that labels itself sports entertainment. So, basically, according to Booker T's logic, the wrestling fans are only there for just entertainment at all. They don't care about the wrestling at all. So that means because Booker T says that, and because maybe that's how people within the WWE feel, okay, that means that's what AEW is supposed to do. We won't give you solid wrestling matches. So I guess Will Ospreay versus MJF a couple of weeks ago was a mistake. They were supposed to go in there and have a 5-minute match, and basically that's it. And just have MJF and Ospreay go back and forth yelling and insulting each other. That's what they were supposed to do. It's like, man, come on. This is wrestling, bro. We want, like, you can't live in the past, but a lot of people do. Now, mind you, Booker T is old school. Eric Bischoff is old school. Vince Russo, old school. Okay, so the thing that I don't like about their commentary, like what they do, they seem to think that they have a formula. They always speak like they have a formula. Okay, that's foolproof. Then what Booker T got going on with that reality of wrestling or whatever, then it should be as big as AEW then. It should be as big as TNA. How about that? It should be as big as TNA or bigger. Because the way these guys talk about wrestling and their input, it's like, well, you have your own company. Why is your company still like a little tinker toy in the world of professional wrestling, right? Like, think about it. I'm not saying that they don't have opinions, and because it's stuff that they say I agree with, but it's a whole lot of stuff that they say that it's just like, a lot of times I feel like they're just saying it just to get people behind them because, like, for example, when they say, hey man, I salute Swerve Strickland, first black AEW champion. Okay, great. What else? You understand? As if like, oh, that's the only good thing that happened. Oh, Sting's retirement match. Yeah, well, these people came out because of Sting. Okay, but they came out. What else? It's always, if they try to give AEW any credit, it's always like they try to do it as small as they possibly can. And this is by design. So my whole thing with that is none of them are running a wrestling company. They all were a part of a wrestling company, and they all, Eric Bischoff, Vince Russo, regardless to what, were accused of running the company into the ground. Now they're still doing videos, who really killed WCW. Like, you guys are pathetic. You're really trying to monetize your channels by bringing up an old company. And the funny thing is, when people talk, if you look now, look at all the great things people say about old WCW matches. Eric Bischoff, out of his own mouth, was talking about the revival, okay, of WCW. Here's the thing, and I agree with Jeff Jarrett, because when I read his article, I said, yeah, you know, I see it a lot the way Jeff do. What Jeff was basically saying, of course, if they do it right, it could work. That's common sense for anybody. But he's saying, what Jeff Jarrett was doing was this. He wasn't trying to hate, but he's saying he don't really see too much of a difference, because what it would take to make WCW successful, okay, it has to have its own identity. Now, they have to be willing to put that type of effort into it. If you guys remember, months ago, I said the similar thing with Jeff saying, but my thing is why I said it doesn't really matter to me if they was to revive it or not, because this is what I believe. They're not putting this same effort into NXT. So, what would make you think reviving WCW, you're going to get anything different from what you get with NXT? I mean, one of the first things that they would probably do, Rick and Scott Steiner, Sting, Luger, you know, Flair, all of the people that was a part of WCW, you know, Nash, X-Pac, people that's still around, Buff Bagwell, Booker T, have them at some point make some type of appearance. Of course, those same wrestlers will be going to the Performance Center as well. Now, who could they send over to WCW? Right? Now, mind you, just think, and is WCW going to be another studio wrestling program like NXT, or are they going to take WCW on the road? Who's going to run WCW and put that effort to make sure that the same things that they're giving SmackDown and Raw, WCW is giving the same thing? So to me, I feel like it's just a waste of time. It's just, to me, I know honestly, nothing but another way of trying to get more attention away from AEW. While everybody over here is hating on AEW, they have a deal with well, it's just called Max now. No more HBO Max, but it's just called Max. They already have their programming being showed in all these other countries on Max. So of course, eventually it's gonna be showing what's happening here. They're discussing the deal right now. They're going over that. According to Tony Khan, everything is looking like it's on the up and up. You know, with Warner Brothers Discovery. So it's just like, hey, listen, Warner Brothers. So what I'm saying is, how do you people don't understand that it's not about a war of words. It's a monopoly. Everybody in the WWE want to make you believe AEW is no threat to the WWE. Oh, they believe that nonsense if you want to. I even heard a freaking content creator was talking about WWE and said that the WWE is bigger than Disney. I said, I don't know if he meant to say that or not, but he's 1,000% wrong. Okay, if the WWE was bigger, then they're nowhere there. No, hell no. They have a merger with the UFC. Let's not forget. Okay, they are nowhere near as big as Disney. And if they were that big, they could operate everything from the WWE network. They wouldn't need sponsorship or nothing from nobody. They wouldn't need They wouldn't need Disney. Now, would they? If they were bigger, make this make sense. We're a bigger company, okay, than Disney. But yet, we're going to have our programming on their platform. If they were bigger, their platform would be bigger. So I'm like, yeah, you got people that really don't know what they're talking about. They just say things because they're fans. But at the end of the day, what it really comes down to, if they was to revive WCW, this is nothing more but a way to go. You know, now look at this. Look, just think about strategy. What networks did WCW air on? TNT, TBS. So you don't think that they would look at that and go, okay, so people that missed the old WCW, right? Well, it won't be on TNT and TBS. That's where AEW is. But old WCW fans are pretty much new AEW fans. But to see that logo again, WCW, and then all of a sudden, you know, you have Sting and them with their little, trying to get them to like little, even if it's just appearances, you know, or try to get some Legends deal where, you know, they make appearances and show their faces, try to get them to try to, you know, train certain people or, you know, pop up here and there, be part of the programming behind the scenes. All of those type of things is to do what? To try to take attention away from AEW. All in the meantime, they have a partnership that they're working with TNA. You guys don't see that? So if they was to do that, that's all it would be for. Let's try to eliminate what AEW has going on. And guess what? Now, to have a WCW, now former AEW talent, it's not just NXT, SmackDown, and Raw, and you see what they keep doing. They stick everybody over there at NXT. Now, guess what? They can build a nice roster of people at WCW, but it would be a whole lot of people that you just don't know. Now, would it make sense to have WCW, and then the majority of their wrestlers is people just popping up from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT? That would be completely stupid and a waste of time. So I think that when people make these assessments of what they think is going to happen, they think what a person is trying to do, just take the fanboy stuff out and look at the reality of it. Let's look at the logic of it. Okay? But yeah, just think about it, right? Everybody says that all of those people I'm talking about, the Bischoffs, the Dutch Mandels and all them, Vince Russo, yeah, they all say these things, and it's always like all praises to the WWE. But you know, here's the thing: if any one of those companies was to hire them, they'd go work for them. If Tony Khan right now was to contact Vince Russo, Eric Bischoff, or any one of them, and you know Tony Khan pay people very well. If he was to contact any one of them, you think they'd tell him, no, they're not interested? No, they'd be right there trying to take on the role. And off camera, they'd be saying, you know, Tony, we just say things, you know, for the podcast. And, you know, it gets views, man. You know, controversy creates cash. Yeah, that's the book that Eric Bischoff wrote. And, you know, of course they would. But this is where when people are always saying someone made a mistake, like someone Vince Russo said AEW made a mistake by putting on Will Ospreay versus MJF on Dynamite. Why? This should have been a pay-per-view match, right? Okay. You're the same guy who always talk about what companies have to do to get their ratings up and what they have to write. But you see my point, no matter what they do, it's always a counter to it. But they should have did this and that, and they should have had them come out and argue, and they should have, you know, led up to the pay-per-view. Like, man, listen, see, this is where you guys don't get it, man. Okay? And they're going to have their rematch at All In the first place. But you see, before the storyline even unfolds to reveal what the next step is, they're already making videos, right, on a week-to-week basis to discuss what they saw. And then they shit on the show, and it's like, people, there's more. There's more. Wrestlers wrestle more than one time, okay? And that's just the way things go. And AEW Dynamite needed that match as far as I'm concerned. Why not? They have all of these people on the roster. They don't have to sit here and play it safe like you guys think they do. That's where people keep saying what this person should do. They should have put this kind of match on. They should have did that. They should have saved that match. They shouldn't have did that. Then they'll turn around and say they should have put this person and that person on. It's like, listen, guys, at some point, okay, at some point, you have to understand, you're not going to hit a home run every time. I mean, you can have a great idea. It doesn't mean it's going to catch on the way you want it to with everybody. That's just the way things go. Man, these two have been outside this ring forever. This is another thing that the computer loves to do. One move at a time and go for the pin. Like that. This is what I mean about bug fixes and changing things to disrupt the computer AIs and stuff. This is the kind of work that needs to be done where these things don't happen. Because one, if you're playing as a human player, these things don't happen. Okay, but the computer, this happens. When this does happen, it's a pain in the ass. Especially if you're like doing a freaking a video of it. You know, especially then. So like the computer doesn't have the common sense to throw the opponent back in the ring and you know hit the finisher. So okay, come on, somebody get this match over with. And see, Queen Aminata is still strong as well, so she might kick out of that. And this is what I'm saying. They go for the move, go for the pin. So these are things that have to be corrected. I was playing 2K the other day, or a couple weeks ago actually, and this one thing happens all the time, man, where someone, come on, throw it in the ring. She tried to, but she, you know, and this whole situation where instead of coming in to break up the pin, my partner comes in the ring and does a lap around the ring, and I'm just waiting for my partner to do something, like break the pin up. Come on, man, I'm about to get pinned, and they don't do anything. Just run around in a circle, even on a computer fight, or you as a human playing against a computer. I was playing what's this fighting game I was playing the other day, and it's one of these things, man, where like certain glitches. Like, you know, I don't know. A lot of glitches that's fixed in the game. These are the things that people need to speak up about. You don't have to whine and cry about it. Just make it known that there's glitches. Because the game developer, they might not be aware of these glitches, all these glitches. They might not even know that these things are happening. So this is why you need to pay attention to your audience, listen to what they're telling you, respectfully. That's why I tell, like, people love to complain and just say things, took out the whole wall. Love that. You know, come on, Christina, go inside the ring. Yeah, see, this is where the computer, see, she's trying to throw it in, and she just keeps slamming into the ring. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, these things, I'm trying to think of the fighting game I was playing, but it glitched so bad, but I've seen this happen like 5 or 6 times already, so I know it wasn't just that one time. You know, I see the same thing if I'm playing like a Hell in a Cell match on 2K. Especially if an opponent is thrown off of the top of the cage, it's like they'll come down, they'll fight, and they'll stand like one corner, how they're doing right now, and they'll just wrestle, keep doing the same move over and over. The computer AI will not make the wrestler go back to the door. And what they'll do, they'll climb almost halfway up the cage and then just jump back down. And they'll do this repeatedly. And they will never walk around and climb back into the door. So 38 minutes go by and the same thing is happening. Alright, so at this point, okay, I'm trying to see if she throws it back in. Because if she doesn't, it looks like I'm gonna have to hit a restart on here, man, because this is just like, and then moving around the ring. Come on, throw her in the ring. No, let me restart, because I be damned. This is 35 minutes in, and I be damned if I'm going to go through all of this again. And this is what happens a lot of times, y'all. And this is what y'all don't understand a lot about content creators. I'm just trying to give her the benefit of the doubt to throw her back in the ring. There's a lot of times we have to scrap videos. I've done it so many times, and you don't know how annoying that is. And this is one of the reasons too why people don't record like concept matches more, because of like glitches and stuff like that. But I always tell people, just be honest, man. Stop all of the comparisons to try to make one game superior to the other. Just play the game and enjoy the damn game, because they all have their share of glitches. And it's annoying. I'm not gonna say it because it's Fight Forever. I love this game far more than I love any other wrestling game that's out. But guess what? I'm not gonna sit and act like this shit right here isn't happening. It's like, you understand? Like, no, this is stuff that we want to see fixed. I keep trying to give them the benefit of the doubt to throw them back in the ring, and then just doing the same thing over and over. Alright, so we're going to restart. I was talking to you guys, and I'm looking and noticing, like, man, they're in that corner for a long time. And now you see my point in not wanting to do the exploding barbed wire just in case a glitch happens. Now, this, people might not see it as a glitch, but it is. Because it's the computer AI. Even like when Queen Aminata is trying to, when Christina Von Aries is trying to throw Queen Aminata back into the ring, she kept throwing her to where she's throwing her to the apron, not throwing her in the ring, like slamming her into the apron. And this is what I mean about the computer AI. This is where so many games now, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like the technology, people are so into the graphics that they overlook things. Where back in the day, you didn't have this kind of problem. Games didn't, you didn't have these glitches and problems in games like that back in the day. Not like this right here. You want to know what one of the biggest glitches that you had on games back in the day is when there was a game where you're running and your opponent, when your character is like, the computer is by a wall or something, and they're just running, and they're like literally sliding down a wall while they're trying to run forward, because, and if it's a game where they can walk or run, they don't have the common sense to walk and redirect themselves to they're just not reading it, right? And they'll just slide down that wall, and people used to make fun of that. But like, I mean, overall, no. Like this shit right here, no. No, those glitches, it's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't see where people got far more intelligent. I just see people, they certain things are created, and they come up with different concepts off of something that already existed. So, no, it's not like they just from scratch created something that wasn't already given to them. They didn't have a blueprint already to follow. It's just these games, like when stuff like that happens. So yeah, a whole lot of time. I said a lot of interesting shit. We had a nice little dialogue here, right? So I'm not gonna erase this one. But it's times when I've recorded, man, and it's just like, now I have to stop because I have to edit a video, and to sit here and have to edit a video that's already an hour long, it's like, no, fuck it, I'll just do it over, you know. And so, yeah. So here we just start this match over. That's it. Yeah, this would have been like the first match, and I wasn't talking to you guys the way I was, and then this shit happened. I'd have just, forget it. But no, I'm not starting this over. And also, this is also, something that people don't see. So now you got to witness this, and it's like, okay, cool. This is the type of stuff that happens. So when we put the time in to put the work in to make these videos for y'all, we want y'all to appreciate them and enjoy them. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I mean, What am I looking for here? Yeah, there's just a lot of things that people really don't pay attention to. A whole lot of things. But we have like so much to do to enjoy life. I don't mean just video games. I mean just period. Just to wake up healthy. And people take these things for granted. But you know, right now I'm looking at wow, it's funny, right? That I brought up Sunday Night Heat. And I'm looking at right now somebody is playing Fire Pro Wrestling. Wait, who is she using? Who is she using? Who is this supposed to be? Oh, okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so someone created Lola Vice. I see NXT. This is Heat. Okay, so NXT Heat Wave. Yeah, NXT has Heat Wave. Okay, yeah, they have Heat Wave. So that's why I'm like, wait a minute. Lola Vice wasn't wrestling back then. So this Heat or Heat Wave? Okay. And this is on Fire Pro. So yeah, against Roxanne Perez. Okay, so and this is what I'm saying, because if you don't have access to be able to like download these things, they're not going to be in your game. So you can create them on your own. Let's see here. They have this Lucha game, man. I wanted to show you guys this game and get your opinions on what you think about this game. I'm not going to do it in this video. I think we'll do a video where we're just looking at some games, play some games, and what you guys think about it, because, oh, that was nasty. Oh, Queen Aminata's done. She might as well take your crown now.
1, 2, 3.
And you know, one of the things that I want you guys to pay attention to is when we look at these games, right? Now, the comment sections we don't see because we're looking at the videos, but a lot of these people in these comment sections, like, you read the comments and you know, like, nah, this person can't possibly really believe what he or she just said. All right, so once again, this isn't a tournament mode. So let me we're gonna do all the females now. So like they you know, like you read the comments and it's like you know that the comments, they're just trying to be spiteful. Like that's just what they're doing. And I'm sitting here going, all right, so wait, you're telling me, right? You're telling me that a game that has no cage matches, no exploding barbed wire matches, no ladder matches. I don't even see the 2 out of 3 fall stuff. I don't see. I'm gonna do Rosemary and Havoc. I don't see nothing like nothing. No submission match. All I see is straight up 1-on-1, 2-on-2. And you're gonna tell me that this is a great game, right? Yet all you read about is complaints that a certain game don't have this or a certain game don't have that. So I just try to understand, at what point did a game not having all these features that you cry about, since when did that become cool? That's what I'm trying to understand. So it lets you know, like, yeah, they just say things to try to be mean, but it's like, we're not kids. It doesn't bother me. I don't care how you feel about anything. It to me, it's just, why are we even having this conversation? Like, you know, like why are we even talking about this? You know, like, what's the purpose? So you're in your comment section telling everyone how great this game is, and this game is this and this, but this game does not have the very features that you complain about. You know, so to me, it's just like, yeah, we see what you're trying to do, but it doesn't matter. And the reality of it all is, once you get to the point where you start getting in these comment sections and people like myself who are sharp and on top of things, we see. We hear the things you say, we see. But the thing about it is, when you're saying all of these things, it's like, to me, I feel like, well, what exactly is it about this game that you really love so much? And I ask that question because if you're gonna tell me that a game that lacked the features that you constantly complain about, it's like, what's all this stuff that you're complaining about with Fight Forever or any other game for that matter? Then that how is it you're selective with certain games can be okay with not with lacking features, but others can't? And it's not always that there's a lack. It's just a personal, well, I wish it had this and that. Because when you set up and add up features, that's why I say you go get any other wrestling game and add up how many different modes and match types they have. And you'll see the hypocrisy.
It's going to be an exciting tag team.
You'll see the hypocrisy.
Making their way to the ring.
Yeah, so when I finish this video, if I have time, I may do another one where I'm just showing you some different wrestling games. Because I just want people to understand, like, there's a lot of shit people complain about. And I say, that's why I say, go under any other wrestling game, right? Outside of 2K. Just go to any one of these other wrestling games and just pull up their information, pull up their specs to see how many match types and modes they have. And then look at the comments of how this is such a great game, this game, and you'll go, wait a minute. But Fight Forever have more match types and more modes. So, right? And the gameplay isn't better. So what's better? It's just, I'm telling you, that's just people, man. That's just what they do. And you know, like, for example, when they talk about Madden and college game, here's the funny thing. They'll say Madden suck, Madden this, Madden don't have this and that. And they'll look at game day and it's like, well, does Madden make game day? Yeah, okay. So if does EA make game day and Madden? Yeah. Okay, if they make the same game and whatever differences are there is there. But then it's just like, you'll hear a person, like I told you guys, I saw a video where the guy is saying this game is way better than Madden. This is how you make a football game. This has this and this and this and this. And then in his own video, the dude said way more things is wrong with the game than he said was good. So to me, it just sounded like he was just being rebellious, just towards Madden. I mean, it's like it's just it's like people just do things and right in front of you, and it's just like, are you listening to what you're saying? If this game is so much better than Madden, why is everything that you're talking about a complaint? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. I hate the game, I love the game, but I said about 3 or 4 things, that was good about it, and everything else came out of my mouth was a complaint about the game. That makes 0 sense. 0 sense. So as this game is as this match is going on, I'm looking for some things here, and okay, here we go. Now I'm just looking up some things here, man, and because one of the things is when you watch certain things for yourself, it's one thing when people tell you something versus when you see it for yourself. And one of the things that I really, like I learned on my own, for one, I follow, positivity. I lead myself, okay? I follow my own lead. It's just that, people, they just love to say things. And in these very games that I'm showing you, I'm telling you, their comment section is, oh, this is way better than Fight Forever. And it's like, man, this game has nothing to do with Fight Forever. Why are we even talking about this? Like, what? You're watching this one game. Why are we talking about Fight Forever?
1, 2.
Excuse me. Okay, Brandy with the pen. So what I'm going to do when I play these videos, which is, like I said, not going to be in this video.
This match by all the competitors.
But when I do, what I'm going to do is, now usually I edit all of this talking out. I don't talk. I'll just edit, to the next video. But I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to edit this out, and I'm going to talk to you while the video plays. But I just want you guys to see, what I'm saying is like people are just so full of shit, man. Like I'm just be real about it, man. People are just so full of shit, okay, that they say things and they know that they don't even mean it. They just say it because they think it's what people want to hear. Okay, so let's do Jamie Hayter. Haven't put her in a match in a while. Let's do Jamie Hayter. Wait, did I give her different outfits? No, I didn't. Okay. So we'll do Jamie Hayter and Becky Lynch. Why not? So, yeah, okay. But yeah, you'll just see people are just full of it, man. And I gotta tell people, first off, let's be real. If you are enjoying what you're doing, you don't have to make videos bashing another game. You understand? You're playing what you like. Your focus is there. We know that people are extremely immature, okay? But you don't have to do that. You wouldn't have an interest, because you're playing what you like. That's the one thing I love about Fire Pro Wrestling. The people that play that game, you will see, most of them don't even record any type of dialogue whatsoever. They just play the game, but they don't care about what Fight Forever is doing. They don't care about what 2K is doing, whatever other game. They just play. That's it. That's it. And if you see nothing but Fire Pro Wrestling video on videos, okay, that's just it. They're not focused on whatever else these other games are doing. And so it's not about what you think is better. Which game would you? They don't care about any of that. It's not even a conversation. And it's just too bad that most of us are not like that. And that's part of what I'm saying about when we look at what's going on. I look at everything and say, hey man, I hope it's fun. Why? Because that's something else for me to play. Something else to enjoy. Why would I want to see a game suck? I don't understand people. Now, when I'm looking at this one game I'm looking at right now, it's funny because this particular video has over 1,000 likes. And of course, in the comment section, that people just have to mention Fight Forever as usual. Then this is what it is. And if you're talking about graphics, you cannot possibly tell me that this game graphically impresses you. For the people that complain about graphics, do you guys remember this character called the Brown Hornet from the Cosby Kids, the Cosby Fat Albert? And the Brown Hornet had like the big upper body with the little pencil stick legs. Like that's the art style of this game. Okay. And it like I said, look, people are just full of it, man. They just say things just to say it. Like but and I'm not watching these videos to ridicule. If I was, I'd be honest and say it. And because that's what I'd be doing. I'm just watching these videos and I'm saying, like I said, I don't see any cage matches. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. I don't see like I said, I don't even see like a falls count anywhere. I don't see a submission match. I don't see I quit. I don't see any of that. I don't see any of that. And the same people, there's a lot of the same names, the same faces, the same channels that's saying how great this game is. Yet, this game doesn't have half the features that Fight Forever has. This is the whole thing what I'm saying. Like, people, they just full of shit, man. I do my homework on things like that, man. I'm sitting there looking, going, yeah, I see all these ignorant comments. And they're ignorant because they're not even being honest. They're not even being honest, okay? They're being so dishonest. And it's like, yeah, you think that a person would just wake up and say, hey, man, look, I just want to have fun. Like, you know, I just saw a move happen where, you know, when they have like the arm bar and then the wrestler does that little flip forward, like Davey Boy used to do that, Sting used to do that, the little flip forward roll and then they do the kick up. But what happened, the problem with that was the wrestler was in the ring and the opponent was outside the ring, which means they did all of this through the ropes. That's a glitch. But just saying, it's amazing to me how, and you know, and here's my thing. I don't only mind different, I want different. I prefer different. Okay? But what I'm saying is clearly, here's a game that lacked depth, but somehow it's better than Fight Forever. It's like, we already know. And like people, once again, I don't care if people like whatever, I don't care what game someone like. You know, I'm not here to try to change people's minds and say, no, like I don't work for fucking AEW, okay? I'm saying I speak against lies, man, with facts, logic, and truth. And of course, my opinion is built off of logic, off of the facts. So the bottom line, though, is, you know, if I tell you a particular game only has 20 features altogether, that sucks. We need at least 50. And all of a sudden, a game that only has 5 fucking features is being told that, oh, this game is so great. Okay, that's what I'm saying. And there's nothing about the play style. I'm going to show you guys, and you're going to see. There's nothing about the play style that make these games like, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. But hey, man, let them tell it. And we'll just watch a few minutes or so, maybe one complete match, and that's about it, or something, because once again, match types and all of this and modes is just not there. It's just not there. But somehow, it's a great game if you read the comment sections. You know, and also one of the things that I find really funny, man, is like when people say, oh, well, this game right here, all these a couple updates, and this game will be perfect. A couple of updates and the game will be perfect. And when you ask them, what are the features of this game, or you sit there and take the time to go into their list and you know, go to their dash and look, and you see like the game is extremely limited.
1, 2, 3.
Becky Lynch goes down.
The winner of this match, Jamie Hayter.
I can't believe I was here for this amazing matchup. It was a classic, to say the least, and one people will be talking about for years.
Yeah, I haven't seen Jamie Hayter in a while either. She came back for a short while and then she disappeared again. I read that she was injured again. So she came off of injury just to end up injured again. Like, okay, let's see. Okay, so we'll keep it. Let me see. Of course, it wouldn't be right if I didn't have Danny Luna come in there. Okay, so do we want to go green and white, or do we want to go purple and white? Or is that more lavender? I think it's lavender. Okay. Right, so we're gonna have Danny Luna. Who do we want to fight? Okay. She's fighting Yuka. Now I know I gave you some different outfits, Yuka. Yes, I did. Okay. Let's go.
This bout is set for one fall.
All right, fans, here we go. An exciting match standing by.
And also, one of the things, anybody hungry? One of the things that you also want to see too, you notice when people play these other wrestling games, it's just a bunch of silliness. It's like they're not really trying to get good at the game and learn how to do the moves and just have like really good matches. They're just like, I mean, it's their business, but it's like they're just playing the game just to play it. They're just doing silly things, a lot of button mashing, and they're not really trying to, so they don't even take the games like, when I say serious, I don't mean serious like it's some life-changing thing or something. I mean, like, they don't really try to learn the game, but I mean, so to give the fans an experience of, okay, you can do this and that on this game, and, like, show, like, hey, you can have, real fun wrestling matches on here. It's more of a just, let's just push buttons and see what this does. And, yeah, you just see a lot of things happen where, like, it's really just like, my point is they take 2K far more serious. That's the point what I'm saying. They look at these other games like an alternative game is just something to play. You understand what I mean? And so they don't even like really try to get good. And yeah, people watching would look and say, "Oh, I don't want that. It looks stupid. It doesn't even," or whatever. Or you have people that they're just yes men and they go along with whatever someone else likes because they like their channel or whatever, but they're not even looking at for what you're saying. The guy's playing it is just something to play. Okay. This one particular video has 27,433 views at this time. Okay, so you're gonna see the video. I'm gonna show you guys. Like I said, and it's just like if you look at the gameplay, it makes you think like, well, damn, what is so crazy about this game? Like, what is it about this game that that's so amazing? Because when you watch it, you're gonna see like, there's nothing fancy going on here. It's a lot of silly stuff. Now, when I look at, even when the game is in early access, you still get to see the gameplay and everything. And then too, when you, like I said, you do your homework on it, and then there are no concept matches. It's just regular straight up 1-on-1, 2-on-2. And yeah, people are losing their minds over something, and you don't even just looking at it. There's certain things I'm going to just save for when you see the video. But I mean, listen. One thing that I will say too about creativity, and people they lose sight of this. Okay, when you play a mode like Stadium Stampede is a fun, somewhat Fortnite style, something type of It's not about a wrestling match in that mode. Okay. Anybody with common sense should know that, right? If you've seen the commercials and stuff, so you know. Okay, you've seen the videos. You know what type of mode it is. The funny thing about it is, I watch people play games, and then those games have mini games within that game. And I watch people play games, and they'll say stuff like, "Man, they should do something different, because I love like Angry Birds, and I love all of these different games that they name." And I sit there and go, "Damn, you know what's funny? Because AEW has a game that's similar to Angry Birds. What you call it, Stadium Stampede, is similar to Fortnite in a lot of ways, but different, but similar. Right? They have all these different mini games that they have, and then it's like." people forget when they announced Stadium Stampede, people lost their minds. Yo, this gonna be huge. Blah, 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 blah. So mind you, at the time, guess what? There was still no cage match. There was still no submission match, no best of 3 falls, no none of that. It was just Stadium Stampede being, delivered to what we already had with the base game. So you see the point what I'm saying? If Fight Forever had all those other things out the box, and then Stadium Stampede came, now bug fixes and all that is something else. But what I'm saying is, they would not be saying the things that they're saying. So Fight Forever became the game to hate, and it's just like, it's so stupid though. It's dumb. It's like yeah. I'm never going to tell you a lie, man. I'm never going to tell you something I don't believe. So even like when people ask me about other wrestling games, and I'm telling them like games that I have, it's like if the game was as fun to me as it is to you, I'd be playing it more often, right? So it's not like every time, the only time I play is when I record. It's just that these games that people are so crazy about, and they're talking about how, how a game has a lack of something, or they heard the game was this or that. I tell people, like, you have YouTube, right? Okay, there's nothing that I can tell you that I've seen on YouTube that you can't see on YouTube. Nothing. All it comes down to is you finding out information. That's it. And I tell people that, and I mean it, man. It's just like, listen, wait, we're not here to I'm not here to lie to you guys. I gain nothing out of making up lies about anything. I'm not here to lie to you guys. I'm here to tell you guys the truth and what my opinions are on things. Let's throw Rio in. I know I gave you some changes. And people don't seem to understand that. They just, I don't know. People, I guess they're used to lying to people, or people lying to them, and a combination of both. So I guess they think it's normal, but it's really not. Just walking around lying to people. Like I always say, man, a content creator, it is very irresponsible of these people to sit here and lie to their audience. Like when one of the first, before was it, I think Action Arcade, I can't remember which one was first, but I know before Fight Forever, I already had both of them. But when Action Arcade came out, I told you guys before, when I was watching this game being played, as far as the demo, what I saw was enough to get my attention. Okay. But I knew from the art style, I knew from the, what I saw, that it was going to be some wrestling with some fantasy shit. Like, people shooting lasers and all. So I already knew ahead of time what it was. Okay, so when I bought the game, it was like, all right. So you don't know everything. You just have to get the hands-on experience so you can, okay, now I see what the game can do, and okay, what it doesn't do. So I'm playing the game. Okay, and my honest assessment of that game was it has a fun factor, but it's very limited outside of having like the multiple tags. They got 2 versions of a battle royal, and it's very like lazy. Where when you do the battle royal, when you eliminate someone, they line up on the floor like a can of sardines. They just lay on the floor, and they don't move. That's just what happens. That's, I think, like the 10-man battle royal or whatever. Whichever. It's one of those. Like I said, there's 2 versions of a battle royal. Like, and you just lay there, okay? As opposed to like getting thrown out and then leaving, or maybe they just switch a different camera angle so you don't have to see the wrestler leave. They're just gone. They just lay on the floor like they're dead, okay? Like, and so there's things that I watched and I saw, and I'm like, okay. Now, understand, any game I buy, I'm buying it to have fun. I'm not buying it thinking I hope this game is super real life, like super real life, or I'm gonna be disappointed. There's certain things that's just not of my taste. Man, listen, I knew before I purchased that game though that it was gonna have some inhumanly possible stuff in it and all that as well. Okay, you can fight with a big ass pencil. You can fight with the damn vending machine. They have like a lot of silly stuff on it. Okay, but it was just something to play. It never became like I just have to play this game. Like this game is. It was just something to play. So and I was honest about it. And someone asked me, like, I know that it's fun, right? It has a fun factor, but it's something that you play and you kind of get away from it and come back to it here and there. And the potential of the game, the fact of the matter is, the person that made the game, they have no intentions on updating this game to, adding features or doing any of that stuff. Like, no, the game is what it is. Oh, she knocked her off that ladder. And I look at the game and I'm saying, okay, like I said, it's just something to play. I didn't compare it to anything, and I didn't make any bones about what the game doesn't have. I just understood. I didn't know up front when I read the specs on the game wasn't available. This wasn't a physical copy. I downloaded the game. Okay, and when I did, it was like, okay. When I went into when I went on the Microsoft store, and I'm reading the like the information on the game. Bottom line is this: it's something to play. It's not a game, and I love the wrestling games, but it's just not a game that I feel like I just have to play this game. I just don't feel like that about the game. You understand what I'm saying? But I do every now and then just get that feeling like, yeah, let me go play some action arcade wrestling, So that's the reality of it. Now, for me to feel that way, why would I sit here and tell you, oh man, I love that game. Bro, listen, that game is, why would I tell you that? When I myself really, it's like, the game it has a fun factor, as I said, but no, to me, now you might play the game and love it, but to me, it's just something to play, and I will crack it open at times, and like I said, but I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to sit there. People just have this in them where I don't think it's a crappy game. I just feel like there's things that they could have done. Just things that they really could have done differently, but they did it the way they did it. So, I just leave it at that. That's all. It's really nothing to. It's only so much you can say, There's only so much you can say. So I just feel like it's so hard for people to just be honest and say, like, well, I like the game, but I'm not like crazy about it, but it's something to play. And that's the truth. That's the truth on how I feel about the game, how I see it. I really don't see that game like, man, this game is just, I never played nothing like this before. I just don't feel like that about the game. And so for people that want to hear you make up these lies and say these things, well, you're not going to get that from me. You're just not going to get that from me. Why people can't just be honest and say what they, just be, like I say, there's nothing for me to get angry about. It's just, this is what they came up with, and, it's just not something that I really feel like. It's not my first thing to do list when it comes to me playing games. Put it like that. It's just there, and then some. Again, it's wrestling. And like I said, the game, it's fun while you're playing it. Like I said, it's a fun feeling game, but it just, like, when in terms of long play, it's and it's good that I don't mind doing a lot of exhibitions and stuff. I can swing that, but it really just doesn't have that feel like where you just like, man. You know, like especially when you know, like you have your day off, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna go home, relax,
This is
eat,
a
and
four-way match.
you know, play some Fight Forever. I'm
This
gonna
could
go
be
home and
out of
play,
control.
you know,
A four-way match.
you know,
Making
whatever
his way
game
to
it
the
is.
ring,
That's just not the game. When I got Retromania, um, Retromania is different as well. And I just, you know, like Retromania just didn't have enough people on it, man. It was just like, all right, man, 16, 17 people, like that was it. So I really had to, you know, it's all right. The game is fun while you're playing it, but it just, you know, you like what you like. So my whole thing is I wouldn't sit here pretending to like Fight Forever more than I do. I wouldn't sit here pretending to like anything more than I do. You know, but yeah, so when you see a person playing something, and it's obvious, like, okay, he or she really likes that game. And this is what people fail to realize about, you know, anything, man. It's like, so yeah, but I play the games, I show them love anyway, right? I like the games, I like them, and I never compared them. I never, like, I'll listen. Bottom line is this: if I sit here, it's not hard to see what I like better, okay? But what I'm saying, I never like played them and thought to myself, which game do I think is better, like, or which game, or just compare. I just never did any of that. I take every game for what it is and what the intentions were, and then okay, and then you play, you like or you don't like. There's certain things you like about a game, certain things you don't like about a game, or you love the game but wish it had more of this or whatever. I mean, that's what I do. Somebody like this one dude, right? He DM'd me on my social media, and he said he was thinking, he's like, asked me, do I play online? Because he said, I want you to check out what I did. So what he did, he had on 2K, he created, and then he did the same thing on Fight Forever. He created like his own bikini league, right? Because they have these like lingerie fighting leagues or whatever and stuff. So it's pretty much all female wrestlers, of course, and like, you know, just barefoot with like top and bottom, like what China's wearing right now, as far as AEW. And you know, same thing, like bikini stuff on 2K. I was just like, I don't really do this online stuff, man. But hey, man, hey, you know, yeah, you know, I just told him, man, hey, man, just do what you do, have fun on your channel. I'll check you out and stuff like that. But you know, I don't really, I'm not really into the online battling and stuff. You know, because that's what he was trying to do with me was I do the same thing and then he do it. Why? And he looked and he said, nah, I see some of your characters and how you did this and that. Yo, I love that idea. And so this is what he's doing. Okay, and pretty much what he did as far as AEW is concerned is where he created, I don't know if he created nothing but females or mostly females, but that's pretty much what he does. And he does like this lingerie fighting thing with them. I mean, they're just wrestling, but everybody's wearing the same type of thing. That's not something I'm interested in. That's his thing. But that's not something that that I'm interested in. We make my own, you know, lingerie federation or whatever. And then, you know, a lot of the female wrestlers that I created on Fight Forever, he created them on 2K. And he's doing the same type of thing. But you know, it's like I said, that's just not my thing, man. But hey, you know, people do what they do. Okay, so we're gonna call it a night for this match right here. And I'm gonna get into this next video for you guys. And I will see you guys shortly. In the meantime, enjoy your day, play your games, and enjoy your games. I will catch you all in the next video.